Hello, YouTube fam. It was a great way to start my video. Today I'm gonna be talking about the meaning of life. I made a video about this on TikTok where I said, like, I feel like nowadays we're just so stressed about life and like finances and money and food and love, and it can even be as simple as like, did my husband snap me back, right? Speaking in Gen Z terms. But like we're all so worried about just things so little or big. But I feel like back then things were much simpler, obviously. I mean, the simpler things we had to worry about, I guess, were also very big, as in like finding shelter, getting water, getting food, or going days without food, or being eaten alive, basically. But back then versus now, our meanings of lives have changed. What I was trying to explain in my video was that back then, our purpose, or at least what we thought we had to do, was just we just have to survive. We weren't thinking about anything in between. Maybe we were. I don't know. I wasn't there. Who knows what it was like back then? But just assuming, we really just were thinking and worried about things, about those things in life, just surviving, and kind of like how wild animals are. They they're just there to survive and find their next prey, or you know find shelter for their family. And nowadays, we've kind of got that taken care of for the most part, but our meanings have changed, and I feel like because of that, now we have so much more opportunity to live and create and be safe, or try to be safe as much as possible. I mean, obviously, there's still so much craziness in the world, but for the most part, we all have the ability and access to technology and like AI now. And we can basically do so much more because we've invented so much things like music and art and then like history and like math and stuff, like all those things, like all these subjects. Like there's so much that we figured out, and like medicine and stuff. Like we won't die from like the common cold anymore. But now, because our meaning has changed, I think we often spend so much time now worrying, what is the meaning of life? And I feel like before it was so much more simple because it boiled down to just like, we just gotta survive, we just gotta live as long as we can. But now it's like, we know pretty much our life is kind of mapped out for us. Go to kindergarten, then elementary school, then high school, and college, and then get a job, a family. And I'm just talking about like generally, like that's the life that most people want to live. But then there's all the in-betweens and all the people you meet and all the places you travel and all the things you get to experience. And then it kind of leads us just like, why are we here? Some people might not want to have family or can't have family. Some people don't want to go to college. Some people just want to travel the world. Like we all bring different ingredients to the plate. And I think honestly that's just so beautiful. Like we can do and be and kind of feel what we want. Also, I think our purpose doesn't stem from what we want to do, but in a way, in my belief, it's like our inner calling. Like it's just like something that obviously you want to do it, but it's something that you feel like you have to do. And if it isn't like consuming your mind all the time or telling you like if you don't do this, like, what's the point of life? Then like I don't know, like is it really what you want or like what you want to do? Or are you just too scared of doing it? Because I know deep down there's something that I really, really want to do. And I've honestly, like, it scares me. The thing that I want to do most scares me, but in a way, I feel like that's great. And so many people are too scared to do the things they want, But I honestly think that if something scares you, figure out why it scares you and really boil it down to like for like a small example, let's say you want to, I don't know, write a book. The idea of writing a book might scare you because you're like, oh, like, what if it doesn't turn out great? What if I'm not a good writer? What if I can't get it published? What if nobody reads it? But, like, if you go into it with the expectation of not a single person will read it, but I'm just going to publish it anyways, then you already know, like, that's the worst that can happen. So what? You created a book, you published a book. How many people you know do that? Literally, like, there's so many books out in the world, but if you look around in your friend group or your family, I'm pretty sure very few or like not many can do that. And I think we let society pressure us into thinking we can't do certain things, or maybe society doesn't even pressure us, we pressure ourselves. But there's so much you can do out there, even as little or as big as writing a book. But, like, I don't know. I think we often, now I feel like if we were to go back in time, you would think, oh, like, if only I could just have enough food every day and enough shelter and a loving husband or wife and family, and I know that we're all safe and taken care of, then I would love to make music, right? But it's like, we're gifted that now. We're living in a time where we have those things taken care of. For the most part, I mean, everyone's situation's different, but we have the ability to now have some sort of freedom. I mean, obviously, like, we have freedom to an extent, but we have more freedom than we did before in different ways, and we take advantage of that. We go to bed with full stomachs, and we don't even realize that, like, there's so many people in this world that are starving, and we're so grateful. Or not, we're so grateful. We forget to be grateful. Um, that we get to go to sleep with a full stomach. Little things like that. You know what I mean? Like, we take things for granted because we're so used to it. We're so conditioned to our reality. But I don't know why, but I always go back to how humans were supposed to live in my head. I have this sort of idea that we're put on this earth just to survive, but for some reason, all the people right now, the billions of people on this planet, we're all living in this time right now. We weren't born back then for a reason. And I think even that in itself, it gives us some sort of purpose. The time we're living in now is so, like, valuable to who we are as a person now and who we are as human beings. So obviously we're living for a reason, right? In this time frame, we have to give something for a reason. And that's why I love art and just creating, because it, in a way, if you don't know what your purpose is, or if you don't know what your meaning is, that gives you meaning. In my opinion, like, art gives you meaning and it gives you some sort of purpose because art sort of conveys emotions and experiences, and it's a reflection of ourselves as, like, humans. And if we could reflect that towards the world, and even if just 5 people see it, that's a handful. That could fill up my entire room. That's a lot of people, you know? We tend to be scared to be seen or looked at because we're just like, oh, no one's gonna see it. But it's like, so what if no one sees it? So what if your TikTok gets 50 views? That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Yeah. But also, someone can be viewing your stuff or seeing your art and thinking, wow, I'm so inspired, or like, wow, this is so beautiful, or wow, this made me feel a certain way and I don't like it. People have so many opinions through social media, but like, they don't always tell you, and you could change or inspire someone without even knowing, which is why I guess I have this YouTube channel. In a way, it kind of makes me feel like I have some sort of purpose. I don't think this YouTube channel is my purpose. Maybe it is. Who knows? But I don't know if whenever I share my thoughts, even now, like I've gained some knowledge throughout this video from myself just by speaking to a camera. Um, I went into this video thinking, I want to talk about the meaning of life, and I sort of knew what I was talking about, but as I went on, my brain started like thinking, and then I started learning and like making thoughts and just, I'm so tired right now. So I don't know if this video makes any sense, but I think I gained something from this video and from this little message, and I hope you did too. Yeah, I am so tired. I'm going to go to bed now. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope that maybe this will inspire you to figure out a way you can create or even just create for yourself. You don't have to post anything, but I hope you guys find your purpose and meaning in life because you have one. So, yeah, have a blessed day and good night.